Hello everyone and welcome back to another Q&A here on StephenVlog. This is the February 2015 edition. Look away, or is that what it's called? Look away.
It's a mini game.
Is it look away or is it?
It's look away because you want to look away from the one person who's doing the thing.
Okay. Anyway, we looked at your questions from the January video and we're here to answer them. Now, before we start, this is important. We generally ask you guys to leave us questions for next month. We still want you to do that, but we are going to have a special guest next month, and his name is Mr. Josh Jepson. Josh Jepson's going to be here joining us just for this one video, and we want you to think about questions that
we can answer and he can answer.
Basically that. If you have questions exclusively for Josh Jepson, that's cool, but any kind of questions you know, that would be able to include us or include him, or would be relevant and interesting
to all three of us, with mind that he's in the video, do that. So if you've ever wanted to ask Josh, what's his name? Josh Jippers? Whatever. Anyway, if you ever wanted to ask him a question, here's your chance. Or you could just ask him on his channel, but whatever. Anyway, let's get started on the questions for last month. EAGCgreen asks, are there I can't talk today. Any international travel plans in 2015? Yes. Yes.
We are not going to explain exactly what's happening, exactly where we're going. We're going to wait a little bit, wait till it gets a little closer. But yes, in 2015, Mal and I will be traveling internationally again. The last time that we left the country, and the first time you left the country, was in 2013 when we went to Ireland. This year we are going elsewhere. Should we say
continent?
Yeah. Aren't we going to 2 continents?
Does that count?
I think the one is in the other place.
Maybe.
I think one is in Europe and one is in Asia. Isn't it? Maybe.
Speculation.
I'm not sure. They may both be in Europe. Or they may both be in Asia. No, they're not both in Asia.
One's in Europe for sure.
Yeah, one's in Europe for sure. But the other one may be in Europe, but it also might be in I think the other one is in Asia. But I'm not 100% sure on that. But there you go. Now everyone will know. Everyone will be like, oh, they're going here. Because maybe. I don't know.
There's a couple things it could be.
You can find out. Anyway, we'll talk about it later. Although some people already know.
Yeah.
Some people already know. Archaic King. What was it? Ooh. Ooh. There's your GIF, people. Archaic King asks, how would you respond to someone who says being a YouTuber isn't a real job? A YouTuber slash game commentator, let's player. I wouldn't. To be honest, I've dealt with these people in the past. Very rarely, fortunately. But it's very hard to change people's opinions on this thing, which is really odd. Yeah. It's very odd. And I don't understand their reasoning. Like, I don't understand why they're so, I don't know, adamant about it. The last time I was in a big, I can't even call it argument because I didn't feel like I was, you know, legitimately arguing with someone. I just felt like I was presenting them facts, and they were just like, nope. I was talking with a construction worker who more or less thought that, you know, you had to work with your hands or you weren't really doing anything, and they had criticized me for, you know, not providing for my family and making my wife go to work every day and work a real job when I sat home and did nothing. And I'm like, oh my God. And I tried to talk to them, but I mean, he was a jackass. I mean, it's really what it came down to. And you can't deal with people who are not rational. You're like, hey, you know, I'm an entertainer, just like, you know, someone... Kim
Kardashian.
Please do not compare me to Kim Kardashian. That's not a good analogy. But essentially, yeah, I mean, like someone who would be any other entertainer, a comedian or an actor or whatever. It's the same kind of thing. The difference is I'm also producing all of my own stuff and getting it out there myself. So, I mean, it is a small scale. I'm not friggin' Cat Williams, but, you know, it's the same sort of thing. If
One-man production team, Stephen.
Essentially, yeah. Like, if someone can't understand that, then, you know, I can't help them. If I start to talk to someone and they, you know, aren't getting it, I'm done. Because I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Anyway. Hannah S. asks, how does Sagan and Kepler do at the vet?
Really good.
And Hannah had explained that she was a...
vet tech.
vet assistant.
Yes.
And that she saw lots of, cats, and they kind of run the gamut in terms of what they do, because some are like, yeah, cool, whatever, let's do this. And then other ones like, oh my God, get me out of here, this is my hell. And they're in the corner scratching at the wall. So Sagan and Kepler do really well.
They're not happy to get in their carrying cases.
No. And that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Is trying to get them in the cages to
go
take
there.
them.
But to come home, they're fine.
Yeah. But it's bad because we have 2 cats, so once you can kind of trick one into getting into it, but like by the time you get one in, the other one knows. It's like, nope, and like they'll be in the direct center under the bed, and you're like on your G.I. Joe crawling.
And our bed's
like,
too low to get underneath.
Oh my lord! So that's the hardest part, but otherwise they do well.
But at the vet, Kepler's the explorer.
Kepler's the explorer.
He'll like roll around on the floor and like cuddle up and do the "oh look at me, I'm cute" thing with the vet assistant and the vet.
And yeah, he'll kind of walk around the room. Sagan kind of chills in his cage, but otherwise they both do really well. If you bring them up on the table, they don't really like freak out or anything. One thing that's unusual, but I feel like mentioning because I think it's actually really humorous, is the fact that when they take a cat's temperature, they put the thermometer in their butt, and when Kep gets it in the butt, he's like, no, no, and he's like freaking out. And when Sagan gets it in the butt, he just immediately chills and starts purring extremely loudly. I just thought that was really humorous because the cats are
polar opposites.
Very, very different. Next question is from NASCAR fan 22100. What's your opinion on multi-million-dollar franchises like Call of Duty, and why do they continue to dominate gaming despite little to no changes in each version? Because they're good.
Because that's what people want.
I mean, it is what people want, but it's also good. I mean, there seems to be a very huge disconnect between people that play Call of Duty and people that play literally, everything else, or people that play Madden and people that play, literally everything else. Although there is some crossover. I mean, it's these groups are not mutually exclusive. It's not like, if you think Calamari Dynasty is really cool, you can't play Call of Duty. But the reason they sell well is that they're good. I mean, I haven't played the games in a while, but the games continue to sell, and they continue to score pretty high, and people enjoy playing them. I mean, if you really, really enjoyed a game and the next iteration came out and it didn't change much, but there was enough there to get you interested, that's a successful formula. And I think that's why they continue to sell, is because they're not changing enough to make it so different that they're losing their audience, but they're changing just enough to make it fresh and keep people playing. But like I said, I haven't played a Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare 2, which
I've never played one.
You never played any? Mm-mm. Oh wait, not Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. That was the last one I played, so it's been a while. They're good, and the reason they're good is because everyone plays for the multiplayer, no one plays for the single player. But on multiplayer, you rank up, and you get access to new weapons and new things like that, so that's like what keeps you playing. So you're playing multiplayer FPS, which everybody loves, but then also you're always trying to get more experience to earn better weapons and things like that.
So it's like arms race.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, it's generally you play like team deathmatch or free for all or something like that. We've been playing a lot of CS:GO, so probably not the best analogy, but it'll do. Next question is from David Brodock. What would you guys do if you discovered it was impossible to have children?
Adopt.
Maybe. I probably adopt. I mean, we may use it as a time to reassess our desire to have kids at all, but probably adopt. I mean, we still haven't decided if we want kids to begin with, and I know that I actually read a comment that someone was like angered. Someone was like visibly angry in their comment. They're like, I am actually upset that you have not had kids for my entertainment. Sorry. We are in a lot of debt and are generally financially responsible. Yeah, we don't know if we want to have kids yet, but I think if we really truly did, and we found out that we couldn't have kids of our own, that would not and does not have to stop someone from having kids. Like, there's a lot of kids that do need adopting, so I don't think that would hinder us at all. Anyway, the Zeitgeist 3. Do you rewatch an entire recording when editing? Pretty much all the time. Like,
yeah.
As far as the vlogs go, absolutely. Like, you have to. As far as like the Let's Plays go, almost all the time. I'd say like pretty much 99 and 95 something percent of the time. The only time I don't are things like Smash Brothers. Like in the Smash Brothers recordings we do, you don't have to watch the entire thing, because when we record them, as long as we know that there's no huge screw up, or I don't know, we don't start screaming profanity wildly in the middle of it, then we know that it's, you know, more or less okay to do, because there's nothing inside that needs editing. There's no voice acting or anything. There's no cuts. The audio is not going to be changing at all. So when we get it into Final Cut, it's basically, you know, do a few things and then cut off the head and the tail, and it's pretty much ready to ship. But pretty much everything else besides Smash Brothers, you have to watch all the way through, because you got to adjust audio. I mean, like when I'm playing Far Cry, the audio stays at a pretty
moderate
level. And then if I am talking to someone, they have voice acting, so I stop talking, then I bring up their audio for the duration of them speaking, and then I bring it back down. So there's a lot of work that goes into it, so you do have to watch the entire episode. Jonathan Peel asks, how do you cope with saying goodbye to your significant other after a visit if you are in a long-distance relationship? So basically, you know, you're already not seeing each other very often, and then you finally get to see each other again, but you got to say goodbye. I think Jonathan said that he had been in a relationship for quite some time. I think he was in Canada, and his girlfriend was in Alabama. They were getting ready to see each other, and they were going to spend, I think, 3 months together, but, you know, they are going to have to say goodbye, and that's going to be hard. How did we cope?
It was different throughout our duration of that.
You think so?
In the beginning, there was lots of crying wildly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still upsetting, you know, as time went on, but it was like, oh, you know, there's only 3 more visits until we're together again, or 2 more months, or...
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, it was harder to deal with. We always had a rule from the beginning, and that was not to look back. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. How could you not remember? Yeah. That was our rule at the very beginning, was that when we would be at the airport and someone was leaving someone, and, you know, we did our emotional stuff, and then when it was finally time to say goodbye, we said, you know, neither of us are allowed to look back at the other person, we just go. And that was the rule.
It was a hard rule.
Yeah, but we followed it, except the first time. I broke it the first time. It was the first time I set the rule in motion, and I immediately broke it. I was like, all right, so we are not going to look back. And then we walked away, and I turned around, and I was watching you, and I was like, she's going to look back. And then you didn't look back, and I was like, oh, man, she didn't look back.
Because you made it a rule.
I know, I'm bad at following my own directions. But from that point forward, I never looked back. So, and that was always our thing. Like, whenever we left, we're like, okay, don't look back, and we didn't. So, but yeah, as far as coping with it, God, I don't know, it's freaking hard. It is. It is. I mean, you can't really sugarcoat it. Being in a long-distance relationship absolutely sucks. It's terrible. It's incredibly rewarding whenever you finally get to be together, and also you develop, you know, in my humble opinion, a more powerful and emotional bond with the person, because you can't do anything else. You can only communicate, so you communicate a lot. So I think that the relationship that you have is actually stronger than a traditional relationship, but you also miss out on all of the physical fun of...
Dates.
I like my word better, fun of the relationship. So yeah, but it sucks. It totally sucks. And as far as coping, you know, continue to go back to communicating, and like Mal said, look forward to the next time. And that's really, that's the best way that I could advise, because it's not fun. It really isn't. Anyway, Chili Dude 27. How do you choose what games to LP? It's really not a magical process.
I thought it was.
Actually, first I have to go get a goat, and then I have to sacrifice the goat, and then I have to drain its blood and pour its blood all over my face, and then I have to go, and then...
Slam your face onto a piece of paper, and then the prince says what game.
Yep. That's the way we've been doing it for years, and it's worked out really well. I almost want to move on and just be like, and that's how it's done. No, it really isn't. It's the first and foremost, most important thing by far is that we like the game. If we don't like the game, we're just
or being excited about the game if it's completely blind.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If there's a blind game, then I have to know enough about the game to believe that I would enjoy the game. because there's a few genres that I really like, there's a few styles of games I really like, and if it fits within those, it's reasonable to assume that I would really like the game. I also generally look up review scores, because and it's not that is a make or break situation, but if a game is performing poorly and it's bad, then I may not want to jump into that game. But if it's something that we know and we like, then we're going to jump into it.
It also may. I didn't want to interrupt.
Sorry, go ahead.
It may also be a game we want to share and be like, this game we played when we were 13, and we loved it then. We want to share it with you guys. You may not have heard of it.
Yeah, and sometimes we may not even want to do a full LP, and that's where First 20's been really useful. I can bring stuff to the audience. Sometimes I share stuff with you that I've played that you haven't.
Or the other way around.
Yeah. So wanting to play it is the first big key ingredient, and then second to that is making sure that it's a watchable thing. Some games just don't translate well to watchable stuff. Some games are fun to play and boring to watch. We got to make sure that that's not going to be a problem. And then finally making sure that the audience wants to see it. Just simply put, we survive on viewership. So if we are going to do a project that's going to get no views whatsoever, that's going to be something that we either can't do, or we're going to have to pair it with something that's going to do really well, because we do have to earn money to live. So that's why there's been a little gap. I know that there's been some people asking for like Gears of War 2, and Gears of War was by far the worst LP that we ever did. We really loved it. In fact, I think it's good. I think
there's a lot of good moments.
There's so many funny moments in our LP for it, but it did really badly, and we've been very scared to try and do Gears of War 2 because we need it to do at least a little better than it was doing. So I don't know. Maybe in the future we will tackle it, but it will probably be alongside 2 other games that we know are going to do excellent. Next question is from TheMandarShow, and she asks, if you could marry any celebrity, who would it be? I'm going to go out on a limb and say I know yours.
If I had to go straight looks, because I don't know personalities.
Well,
who is it?
What else could this question be
but
for?
I'm just saying, logically, if it was too
but I'm saying, like, are there people that like really get into like celebrities and they know like their personalities and stuff enough to?
I don't know, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know.
Anyway.
I wouldn't want to date Phil Fish, but go
ahead.
Mine? Jude Law?
Yeah.
Isn't he like 50 now?
I know, but...
I feel like the Neil deGrasse Tyson meme.
Face.
He's so dreamy!
He is!
Yeah, I guess it's weird because, like, if you could marry any celebrity, who would it be? Like, nobody. Like, no one. But I'm assuming that this is more of a... Keep it PG. Let's see.
Who do you find attractive?
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, if you could... sorry. If you... Sorry, why am I saying if you? What celebrity do you find attractive? That's the way I want to word that.
Yeah.
You say Jude Law. The thing is, like, I don't know jack about celebrities. I really don't.
You can't even be like the girl in that one movie?
I'm going to be honest, like, I've never cared, ever. Like, in high school, everyone was like, oh, man, did you see so-and-so in that movie? Or they'd have, like, pictures and stuff. They'd be like, oh, man, the swimsuit edition. And, like, that never interested me at all. Ever. And, like, I found people attractive, but they were people I knew. You know, they were girls that were real. Like, the whole... To me, there was a huge disconnect from the person in the movie and myself. Like, you always see... You know, like, what's the band now that the girls... One Direction. So you always see, like, on Twitter, like, people are, like, flipping out. There's always trending stuff about One Direction, and you read this stuff, and it's like, you know, these 14-year-old girls or whatever that, like, truly believe that they're gonna marry Jimmy John or whoever the lead singer... Probably not Jimmy John, of One Direction,
Jimmy
right?
John makes sandwiches.
But to me, there's a huge disconnect there. Like, when I was a kid, like, I didn't believe that. Like, no. And I think that's why I never had that. But I think I'm apparently minority because everyone was really into that. Like, high school boys were like, oh man, did you see... I can't even come up with a name! I can't... What's the girl?
Jennifer Lawrence?
She's a Hunger Games girl.
Yes.
Yeah, and everyone's, like, really obsessed with her. And, like, from what I've read about her, she seems really cool. Like, her personality. But I don't particularly find her attractive. I mean, I don't think she's... Let me rephrase that. I think she is attractive. And I think pretty much every person in Hollywood is attractive. Like, they have to be attractive.
They're just not someone you are interested in.
They're not like someone I would hit on in a bar. Partially because I probably wouldn't be in a bar. This is the longest question we've ever answered. But yeah, like, if I start trying to name female celebrities, I'm gonna get to like 5. Britney Spears. See? That's like the 90s. Jennifer Lopez is a girl. Jennifer Lawrence, that's 3. I'm at 3. Why is this funny? Courtney Love. That's a weird one, isn't it? Courtney Love. Blondie.
Can you name anyone recent besides?
Yeah, I'm naming 80s musicians right now. Lindsay Lohan was in the news once or twice, right? Like, I like, for the people watching this video, is this you? Am I you right now? Because that's me. I don't know, but like, it's not even just a female thing. Like, if you ask me to start naming male actors, I'm not gonna get very far. Leonardo DiCaprio, Samuel L. Jackson,
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey and Bill Mayer.
Murray.
Bill Murray. That's one, but I was saying Bill Mayer. Bill Mayer? Is his name Mayer or Mayer? Mayer? Bill Mayer? He's not even like an actor. He runs a show on HBO. I don't know these people. I don't know. Like, you can't, that's why you can't ask me this question. Okay, for the record, Mal and I each pick out questions for Q&A. She picked out this one. I did not pick out this one because I didn't feel like I could answer it. But we put it on the list because Mal wanted to answer it because she wanted everyone to know that she really likes Jude Law. So now everyone knows you really like Jude Law, but like, I don't have an answer for this. Like, who do I find attractive? Forget everybody. I don't know. They're all pretty people.
Face is getting red.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I actually...
Yeah, you've made that clear.
I do truly wish I could answer the question. But, like... I mean, Jennifer Aniston, I guess, is pretty, but isn't she, like, 400? I mean, in Hollywood years, if you're 40, you're, like, a bajillion years old, so... Right? Pretty much. This is the longest we've ever spent on a question. I think. I don't know. But like, the Q&A is going to be a lot longer because of this.
And everyone's going to be like, man, you guys must have done 20 questions.
Nope. No, we did 10. You know, it's bad because I do feel like there is a celebrity that I've thought was really attractive before. But I bet you anything that I'm just thinking to like a real person I know or something. I don't know. I find you attractive.
Thanks. I know.
I know. Anyway. Last question. This one will be short. This is from xMEGALUCASx, although I think one or two other people also asked this. Stephen, will you ever explain Searle? Ow, that was dumb. I don't know if it showed it flipping on camera. I was like, whoa, and then it hit me in a spot. I don't really understand why this is being asked in the first place. Like, I thought we made it really clear why Searle and 25 exist. I explain it in the vlog after those. I don't know why I'm still getting questions about it. It's just because on the days where I had worked immensely to the point where I was like, you know, almost...
lucid?
Lucid, mentally exhausted from doing so much work and doing more work than I had, ever done or whatever.
You get loopy.
I do get loopy after I stay up late and also after I've been working really hard. 25 was the vlog before Searle. If you haven't seen that one, go watch that one. And it's called 25 because in that vlog day, I made 25 vlogs. And it was a lot. So it's a really crazy thing. And Searle's the same way. So... Although now that I'm caught up, will you get one soon? Probably not, unless I just feel like doing something fun like that. I don't know. Yeah. So it's a possibility.
Fun fact, you almost killed Kepi in that video.
Yeah. Maybe. There is a part in Searle where I am filming and I reach backwards into the pantry and grab something and something falls.
The big
flashlight. Yeah, the big flashlight lantern. And Kepler had been down by my feet. I did not expect to knock over that lantern.
Yeah.
And I I knew I didn't hit him, because if I would have hit him, I would have known. He would have let me know. But yeah, I don't think I would have killed the cat.
No.
But I think he would have not been real happy.
No, he would have not been happy. He would have probably like ran like over here and just looked at you like, what?
Yeah, fortunately all is well. But yeah, there was almost a severe injury on the set.
It was not in the script.
It was not in the script. Thomas wrote it out. Anyway, that's it for today. This is probably a longer one than usual. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing me talk about celebrities for 6 minutes. Like we said at the very beginning of this, if you have a question you'd like to ask, leave it below, but try and remember that Josh is going to be here, so ask questions that would be suitable for all of us to answer, or
we'll just stick Josh right in the middle and like shine a light on his face and be like,
and also things that would relate to, I hate to use the word relationship, our relationship, Josh and our relationship together. You know, I don't know. You guys know what you're talking about, because we did this before with like Alex and Dan and my parents and Carly and stuff, and you guys did fantastic. So I have full faith in you that you will do fantastic again. Ask cool questions and we will answer them next month, probably on time. I think we'll still answer them on time.
Yeah, because we leave and Josh is here, and
yeah, I think it'll all go well. All right, see you guys next time for more questions and stuff.